Hi, my name is John Goodnight. Today I'm going to be talking about Student Learning Outcome A. Student Learning Outcome A is defined in the English 120 syllabus as the ability to analyze, compose, and reflect on arguments in a variety of genres, considering the strategies, claims, evidence, and various mediums and technologies that are appropriate to the rhetorical situation. I define Slo A as the styles of writing that pulls a reader in, and how the information attracts different audiences. It is important to be aware of your audience. Not only is it important to be aware of your audience when you are writing, it is important to be aware of the audience when you are analyzing a rhetorical situation. For example, in my commercial, the Lucky Charms commercial, I identified the audience as children. In my Project 1 rhetorical analysis paper, in paragraph 2, I discussed the intended audience and how you can tell that children is the intended audience from the start by saying, in the very beginning of the commercial, we see kids racing over a hill and the leprechaun responds by saying, "Uh-oh, those kids are after me Lucky Charms." From the start of this commercial, it appeals to children because you see children at the beginning and how desirable the Lucky Charms are to the children. After identifying the intended audience, in Slo A it is important to gear your logos, ethos, and pathos towards that audience. Or if you're analyzing, as we did, it is important to understand how the logos, ethos, and pathos is geared towards that intended audience. As we know, logos is the logical approach to convincing your audience, while ethos establishes credibility and pathos connects to the emotional side. For me to understand how logos, ethos, and pathos was used in the Lucky Charm commercial, I had to relate myself to the intended audience to try to understand. An additional part of Slo A that is important is understanding the technologies used or how you use those technologies. In the Lucky Charms commercial, it is not a very complex commercial. Especially considering it is a 90s commercial, there is not a lot of technology that kids can relate to. So they use basic things like a balloon. A balloon is appropriate for the rhetorical situation used in a Lucky Charms commercial intended for children. The next important thing to understand in Slo A is the claims made. The main claim used in the Lucky Charms commercial is how appealing it is and good for children to eat Lucky Charms. After making claims, it is important to find evidence that support your claims. For example, I used the claim that the commercial makes Lucky Charms, having Lucky Charms makes you happy, while not having Lucky Charms makes you sad. The evidence I used for this was at the end of the commercial when the kids finally become victorious and claim the Lucky Charms from the leprechaun. The kids are happy with the Lucky Charms, while the defeated leprechaun is sad and in despair. Understanding Slo A is important because it makes you a better writer and better at rhetorical analysis. Once you can effectively gear your genre of writing towards a certain audience, you are able to connect much more and become a much more persuasive writer. Not considering your audience can make even the most well-written paper ineffective because it cannot relate to any audiences besides yourself. Some struggles I faced while progressing towards Slo A was identifying the audience and understanding how logos, ethos, and pathos is used for that certain audience. To overcome this struggle, I remember what it was like waking up on Saturday mornings and watching commercials, and how those commercials affected me in either a negative or a positive way. After relating myself to the audience, I was more effectively able to identify the strategies and claims used and find the evidence to support those claims in the Lucky Charms commercial. The most important thing to remember about Slo A is it is all about the audience. Every effective piece of writing is geared towards the audience, no matter what it is, whether it be a persuasive speech or a serial commercial. I hope you enjoyed my reflection on Slo A. Until next time, have a good day.